Learn all about living in Cabo San Lucas, Mexico from Kristin Bloomquist in this video interview with expats in Mexico. Let's talk about why you decided to move to Mexico.
Well, first of all, and most importantly, we have had so many great trips here, and we just love the people. We love the pace of life. We love the environment. We just think it's one of the most beautiful places on earth. I've called it my happy place for at least the last 10 years. And we were talking about what was next, and I was decided I wanted to start something new last summer, and was going to actually start a consulting business. I'm a trained coach and was going to work with young women and career coach. And then we really said, do we want to stay in, we were in Phoenix, Scottsdale. Do we want to stay in Scottsdale? What's our next chapter? My husband just turned 70 a week ago, and we started to think about life for the next 10, 20 years. And we looked at each other and said, we're ready for another adventure. And there was no other place we would even consider but Cabo, because we have so much love for it. And we planned our typical July vacation down here last year and extended it by an extra week. We come every July for my husband's birthday and with his daughter and their family. And one day in I guess May, we said, let's look at houses while we're down there. And we got on the internet on a Sunday night and Googled real estate agents, and Kathy Buchanan came up, and my husband said, I'm going to call her. And I said, Bill, it's Sunday night. You're not calling her. And he picked up the phone and called her, and we connected right away and started planning what we wanted to look at in July. And that was the beginning of this next adventure. And we came down and looked at a lot of houses and ultimately made an offer.
Had you and your husband Bill individually traveled to Mexico a lot over the years?
We both have traveled, he more than I. He's been to more parts of Mexico, but the only places I had been in Mexico were Cancun, Isla Mujeres, which we actually love. I spent several vacations in Isla Mujeres, and then Cabo. And of those, Cabo just felt like home. I will also say that the attraction of Mexico, besides the people and the beauty of the place and the lifestyle, is it is still close to family. It's very easy to get back to the States and to travel to see our family and friends. So that's a plus as well. But we just, as I said, love this place, and we're ready for that next life adventure.
So you're newbies in Mexico, but besides traveling to Mexico, I'm sure you did a lot of research on Mexico also, right?
We did, and we looked probably not as much as we could have. We did a lot of flying by the seat of our pants, Bob, and have learned a lot along the way. But what was amazing is every kind of so-called or potential obstacle just fell into place. It was like a domino game that we couldn't believe how the pieces kept falling into place, which made it feel like this truly was the right move for us. So we got the car and headed down.
And you're living now in a house that you purchased, or are you renting and still looking?
No, we purchased our home. It was one of the first we looked at actually last summer, but we kept looking and just kept coming back to this place. It is in a development called Rancho Paraíso, and within Rancho Paraíso, which is an estate's private home development, there is a 22-unit Tuscan-style condominium complex. And our unit wasn't finished when we bought it. We were able to help kind of finish it out, and we took ownership in April, came down and with no furniture, and spent our first night on an air mattress with no chairs and no furniture and all of that good stuff.
Yeah.
And then decided, picked our move date and got in the car and drove to Baja to arrive on Father's Day.
Oh, so you drove down?
We did, and what an adventure that was.
How is the drive? Tell us a little bit about that.
The drive was one I wouldn't recommend because it can be harrowing at times, but overall, it's gorgeous. We had no trouble at all apart from crossing the border into Tijuana and getting lost trying to find Highway 1 south. So we drove around Tijuana where no one speaks English for about an hour and then got back on track. We had our dog with us, and we took our time. We took 4 days, so we didn't push ourselves because we had heard don't drive at night, which was very good advice. And we also knew that we, with a dog in the car, should make regular stops. So we planned our trips along the way. We had booked hotels, and it was an adventure,
Tell us a little bit more about your house. How large is it? How much did you pay for it? Does it have an ocean view?
It is a gorgeous house up on the hills, one of the highest hill points above a Costco, right off of Carretera 1, and we have a spectacular view of the Arch and Land's End. We also, we didn't realize how wonderful this was, we have a fantastic city view, which at night is magical, of Cabo San Lucas, because to the left is the harbor, and the city kind of goes off to the right, and the lights are just magical. It is a 2-story condo, as I said, brand new. We are the first people to live in it. Just about 2,400 square feet, 3-bedroom, 3-bath. I'm in what could be our 3rd bedroom, which I've converted into our office. And it's a reverse house. So the bedroom and office, guest bedroom and office are downstairs with the laundry and 2 baths. And then you go upstairs and it's an open floor plan, living room, kitchen, and then the patio doors open fully so that you can just have that patio as also a 3rd room, and the view from there is spectacular. And then our master is upstairs.
It sounds
as well.
wonderful. What are the pricing range for something like that?
This complex, which still has units available, ranges from about 400,000 to over $1 million. There are 2 penthouses that are listed, I think, at about $1.5 million or $6 million. We are on the low end. We call ours the poor unit. We spent just about $450,000, and yet the owner has told us that he's had more offers on our place since we bought it because we've done some customization. My husband designed a fireplace, which is spectacular. We built a fountain out in our courtyard downstairs. And so we've created some special touches that if we were to sell right now, we think we could probably make some money, but I've told him no selling. I'm happy. We don't want to move. I don't want to move anytime soon.
Well, now, since you've been regular visitors to the Los Cabos area, now that you're full-time residents, what's the difference? What do you like about living down there versus just visiting?
Well, as you can imagine, thinking about just any vacation versus day-to-day life, when you're on vacation, you kind of are totally indulgent and looking to pack as much in as you can and enjoy the tourist attractions. As a resident, when you know you don't have to leave, there's a lack of rush that's necessary, which is awesome. We can explore, which we've been doing a lot of, but we don't have to feel like we're packing it all in. The other piece that I've really loved is we had family here for a week and I kept looking at them thinking, they must be thinking it's Thursday, we have to leave in 2 days. It's Friday, we have to leave tomorrow. And I kept thinking to myself, we don't have to go, which is spectacular.
Yeah.
And we're finding it just the same but different. That there are challenges of getting to know a new place,
Sure.
in terms of where to go, where to park. We also don't speak Spanish right now, but we have hired a tutor
Good for
who
you.
comes in 3 days a week, and we are on a mission to conquer, at least to be able to communicate, which has been great. And she is a lovely woman and just been terrific for us. So I've improved a little bit, but I'm not quite ready to do this interview in Spanish with you.
Nor I. So what's the cost of living like down there? Did it meet your expectation?
We were, based on the research we did, we expected it to be less, and we have found that to be true. Things like our cable bill is one third of what it was in Scottsdale. I just got my new Mexican cell phone yesterday, and while I pay over $100 a month from just me on my cell phone, my bill is going to be $35 a month. Property taxes are much lower. The cost of food, sure, you can spend a fortune if you want to eat like a tourist every night, but we have found some fantastic local places where we can have amazing dinners for far less, and we still treat ourselves to the tourist dining, special places as well. But it's been fun to try to find those more local spots. And my husband is a great cook, so we have found shopping in Cabo to be easy. We've got a Costco and a Walmart superstore within 5 minutes of us, so we can get most everything that we're used to. I will tell you, we bought turkey, a packet of ground turkey yesterday, 2 days ago, and had to throw it out. It was not the ground turkey that we knew. So there are some things that are different that we're finding along the way, but for the most part, we are pleased beyond belief with the cost of living, and really pleased with kind of how we're adjusting.
And what about any culture shock? I know you've been only there for a couple of months or so, but have you experienced any culture shock?
I think the one thing, and we asked our tutor about this the other night, is the concept of time. We have found that the people in Cabo thus far seem to not be as conscious of time in terms of appointments or being someplace when they said they were going to be, but conversely, they drive like bats out of hell. The speed by which people drive makes you think maybe they know they're late and they're rushing to get there.
What do you find the differences are between living in the Cabo San Lucas area and San Jose del Cabo, which are the two endpoints basically for Los Cabos?
Interestingly enough, when we started looking at homes, we told Kathy we wanted to be in San Jose. We had spent a lot of time up in an area called Campestre, which is where we love to play golf, and we liked the kind of the older feel of San Jose. We felt it seemed more family oriented, more neighborly, and we really wanted to be in San Jose. Unfortunately, we couldn't find a home that we liked in San Jose, so we expanded our horizons and obviously landed just north of downtown Cabo San Lucas. I am beyond happy where we are. What I've heard, and it's very clear that people here feel like it's two ends of a very different type of lifestyle. The folks in Cabo San Lucas brag about how Cabo's cooler, the temperatures don't get as hot. They love the Cabo San Lucas area, and the flip side of folks who are from San Jose. To them, it's the best place on earth. We still enjoy going between and have gone up to San Jose, every other day since we've been here practically. But I do feel like they're two very different parts of this beautiful part of Mexico.
San Jose is considerably smaller and a little bit more, a little quieter out there, I think.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Hmm. What about the expat community? Have you made any inroads into the expat community down there? I would assume it's a fairly extensive expat community.
Well, the probably biggest inroad I've made is, I think on day 2 or 3, we picked up the local Gringo newspaper, and there was an article about an expat and local group called the Tomatoes. And it is a group of women who network together. They've been around since, I want to say, the 50s. And I said to my husband, I wonder what this is all about. And I sent them an email, and lo and behold, they were having a group event 2 days later. So I have been to 2 Tomatoes luncheons, have met some great women. We've gone out to drinks with one of them. I've been emailing back and forth, and I plan to stay involved with that group. And it's fascinating because several of the women it's over 600 people strong, but the 2 lunches I've been to have been only about 20 people, given that it's summer here and a lot of people are not here. It is a mix of people like myself that have moved here from the States, and a mix of, and some of them have been here 30 years, and others have been here 2 years or a year, and some like me are the last 6 months. It's fascinating to hear the women who've been here 30 years talk about the changes that have occurred in Cabo. Just fascinating. Dirt roads, no telephones, no food delivery, and how they survived and have watched it transform has just been really fascinating.
And no Costco.
No Costco, no milk delivery. They used to have to drive to La Paz to get milk and meat. Bless you.
Thank you. What about meeting people that are native to the area, the local Mexican people? Do you have any friends yet? Developed any friends yet?
We do. We have. I had a birthday party for my husband last week, and we had 3 locals that came that we have really enjoyed meeting. One of whom works in this area, and we've loved getting to know him. He's been incredibly helpful. Our tutor is a local, not from Cabo originally, but from Mexico, and she's becoming a friend. And a couple of others. So we're trying to meet both expats as well as locals. We don't want to just move from Arizona to Cabo and be with Arizonans or Americans. We really are hoping to continue to build that base of friendships that are both local and expats.
Good for you. That's very important. And you'll find that as you become more proficient in Spanish, it will open a lot of doors for you.
Yeah, I think that is going to be very true. I feel handicapped right now because I'm not able to communicate as easily as I'd like. That's why the learning of the language is so critical to me and for me.
You spent many years in the advertising business in New York and Los Angeles and Phoenix. Is that something that are you planning to continue doing some work while you're there to bring in income, or are you going to retire? What's your plan?
I am going to take a left turn and hopefully utilize my advertising and marketing capabilities and start a new career in real estate. I really started talking with Kathy Buchanan about it last summer when I was thinking of making a change anyway. She introduced me to the head of the office down here, and he has decided to give me a chance. I got my real estate license in Arizona before we moved, which while it's not official down here, it's a qualification that is preferred just from a knowledge base.
Tell me, Kristen, what are the 3 things that you love most about living in Mexico now?
I think first, starting this new adventure in our new home with my husband, it's just a really exciting time in our lives. 2, I love the people we've met and the culture here. I have great respect for the fact that there is truly a culture here, and I am so excited to get to better understand it and to get involved with it. And 3, the beauty of this place. It's spectacular.
And what advice would you give to someone who's watching this video right now and says, "Oh, this is interesting. I think Mexico might be a great place to live"?
I would tell them to talk to people, read articles like yours, get counsel on people that have done it before. As I mentioned, we flew a little bit by the seat of our pants and found out things on the way that we probably could have learned had we done a little bit, talked to the right people along the way. We were lucky, the dominoes fell into place, but I would tell them to look to folks who have done it and pick their brains. And don't be afraid. It's all doable.
That's great advice. Kristin Bloomquist, thank you so much for spending the last half hour with us, and have a fantastic time living in Cabo San Lucas.
Bob, thank you so much for what you're doing for all of us expats, and thank you for the time this morning.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
No.